Alright, so I just want to get this over with. I want to talk about Pokemon Go's decision regarding Remote Raid Pass. And as of now, today is April 6th. And however, according to my Pokemon Go app, it doesn't seem to have, updated it to increase the price yet. Maybe for the next, for the next few minutes. Like 10 a.m. in my time. So anyways, I want to discuss about this situation, all the the Far Cry and the boycotting of Pokemon Go and Niantic because Pokemon Go community, including myself, are fed up with Niantic's dumbass decisions. So in this video, I just want to talk about or discuss what just happened, how the community react to this post, and what will the future of Pokemon Go be like after you know this all started. So without further ado, let's get started. So I already retweeted Joe Merrick's post, like supporting you know I mean supporting the Heroes Niantic propaganda agenda. If you have to not mix that up. All right. So I agree with Joe Merrick by the way, which of course, as the post right here, put my support out with fellow Pokemon Go app players as the planned change to remote raids and the game in general over the past year has been very bad for not just the general player but rural and players with reduced mobility. Please hear us, Niantic. Please listen, Niantic. So this whole drama and this whole shabacle is basically what happened is something that started since after the events of Hoenn Tour in Las Vegas. If you don't know what I mean, around February 23, if I recall, this got popped up in everyone's remote raid pass when they boot up Pokemon Go. Remote raid pass to join a raid battle remotely. That doesn't look bad, right? Yeah, it doesn't. But if you read the second sentence, it reads, you can join 0 raids a day. Now this 0 raids a day, this basically just a temporary because this wasn't supposed to happen, and it got accidentally leaked by Niantic themselves, actually teased by Niantic, but whatever. Now, currently, when I'm looking at my phone and Pokemon Go, it still have the old, description, which is pass to join a raid battle remotely. There's no mention of you can join blank amount raids a day. But all things changed when Niantic made a public post on March 30th and reads, Trainers, we want to give you a heads up about changes coming to Pokemon Go's remote raid passes. These changes are designed to rebalance the game and ensure it's enjoyed by trainers for years to come. Now take note of this sentence right there. We'll get to that later. Now moving on. The changes will go into effect on April 6, 2023 at 11 a.m. PDT. Pacific, I don't know what's PDT or GMT -7. Screw Britain time, screw American time, screw whatever time. I think PDT means Pacific time, so that means it'll go into effect like tomorrow in my time, maybe not 10 o'clock. But anyways, so let's start reading about the pricing adjustment. So the price of the remote raid pass 3-pack will increase to 525 Pokecoins from its previously price of 300 Pokecoins. And even so, I dislike Niantic's, price increase for remote raid pass because prior to it being 300 Pokecoins, it costs it costs 250. That's cheap. That's stupidly cheap. I can buy 3 remote raid pass with just 250 coins. It's supposed to be a bundle, okay? It's supposed to be a bundle. Something like 100 Pokeballs cost 460 instead of 500 Pokecoins because 20 Pokeballs cost 100 Pokecoins. You get what I mean? Yeah, something like that. It's supposed to be a bundle. And yet Niantic are so money grubbing that they think that it's a good idea to increase the price for remote raid pass just to, mess the community up. Not just only, casual or normal players who literally live in a big city, but also players who are literally living in rural places, disabled players such as me. I cannot actually walk, okay? I can take a ride, but however, I cannot ask the driver to, okay, driver, drive me like what, 1 hour, circling around the city so that I can play fucking Pokemon Go. No, that's bullshit. And you may be thinking, why not ask your parents or someone who's trusted you? No, they don't. They don't want to do that just for a fucking mobile game. Yeah, that's stupid. If you wanna play Pokemon Go, you have to be able to walk. And here's the problem: the community of Pokemon Go are so very judgmental or very mental. Like not all of them, but actually half of it are so judgmental and actually supporting Niantic's dumb decision. Like they wanted remote raid pass to go because for them they think, oh my god, no one is actually participating raid hour for me. How dare they? Like that's so self-centered. That's literally what happened. That's literally how they felt. Like there's some posts right here and there that you might gonna like this one. Such an amazing gathering of our local community on this beautiful spring day for raid hour. Here as Niantic. Now what she wants is that get rid of remote raid passes because I don't have friends or groups coming together on our same location that we do for raid hour. It's so unfair. Yeah, it's so unfair because you heard the news. This is what you've done. You think that restricting remote raid pass will encourage people to what? To go out? That does the opposite. We got used to it since the pandemic, okay? Since the introduction of remote raid pass since the pandemic, and yet you're not satisfied with it because no one is playing with you? Screw off. I'm just heated up by dumb idiots on the internet, especially those on fucking Twitter thinking self-centered about themselves, okay? And here's the problem. She doesn't even communicate with her group. That's the thing. She doesn't communicate and she just assumed that her group will be able to, meet up on the same place. That's judgmental. Oh my god. Anyways, let's move on to another one. The pricing for a single remote raid pass will increase to 195 put coins. As I said earlier, with the 3 pack, yeah, increasing just for people to encourage people to actually go out if you don't want to buy remote raid passes. Now, currently as of now, remote raid pass costs at least 100 Poke coins. And that's pretty much the same price as it is since the pandemic started. And then people are gonna excuse themselves when I said the pandemic, be like, why do you say the pandemic? We're not living in a pandemic world anymore. Of course we don't, but there's still the COVID, okay? And what I meant COVID, I mean like the COVID-19 virus evolved into something far less detectable than we all know. Have you heard of the recent COVID variant? Yeah, it doesn't actually give you lung cancer or whatnot. It just gives you bone issues. uh, yeah. And then the difficult part is that the current COVID, variant doesn't seem to work on, current vaccines. So, yeah, we're literally fucked if we get, affected by it. But that it depends because we don't know about this, new variant as of yet. So anyways, moving on. Um, not just these things are bad. There's at least one little good thing about this pricing stuff, and which is a premium battle pass 3 pack will be added to the shop for the price of 250, which, mind you, as I mentioned before, was the original price for the 3 pack for the remote raid pass back in 2020. So if you want, PvP and whatnot, okay, fine, go ahead. You can do your fucking PvP with your premium battle pass or premium raid pass. Okay, after you wasted your free passes. All right, so let's move on to the controversial one. As why, as how, as this is the reason why this boycott began. Remote raid participation limits. Trainers will be able to participate in a maximum of 5 remote raid pass per day. 5 remote raid pass. After you wasted your 5 remote raid pass per day, you cannot use them anymore. Like you cannot use your you cannot you can still buy remote raid passes, but however you cannot host or join raids anymore because you've used up to the maximum 5 remote raid passes. But however, as they mentioned in the second statement, this maximum may change and increase for special events. I'm assuming such special events like Pokemon Tour, Go Fest, the Community Day events, and raid events probably. So yeah, at least there's a little bit of hope when it comes to maximum the change of maximum usage of remote raid pass in events. But however, here's the problem: you can actually have that, fine whatever. But however, it's still a big no-no to restrict remote raid pass on non-events. All right, it's so stupid. It's really that stupid. Like a lot of rural and disabled, communities rely on remote raid passes to participate, raids from hosts, or they wanted to, host a raid for themselves because they cannot actually go from point A to point B. Now, for those who are still not knowing, I got into an accident back on November, and I tried playing Pokemon Go with crutches. You've seen my reaction to it, or how I actually play Pokemon Go on with crutches. It's fucking tiring, and at the same time, it's so stupidly hot. Uh, like it's not. I highly not recommend anyone to play Pokemon Go on crutches. And you may be saying, okay, how about play Pokemon Go on using a wheelchair? Yeah, easy for you to say if there's someone who can help drag you into another Pokestop or whatnot. But here's the thing: wheelchairs are also fucking expensive. It's lucky that I got gifted crutches from a friend, a family friend to be exact. But however, it's still these kind of equipment or disability tools, they're really difficult to buy, all right? And you may be gonna excuse yourself, okay, if you cannot afford a computer, if you can't afford a computer or a Nintendo Switch or literally data, how come you cannot afford a wheelchair? Like, bro, really? That's so stupid. You think people are rich? People can buy stuff because, it's there. There's an opportunity or it's important. However, it's not that important when you're gonna go outside, play fucking Pokemon Go on crutches or wheelchair. The doctor even recommended me to not buy a wheelchair because this healing leg of mine will be fixed in about what couple of months. And I'll be able to like do some leg rehab and walk again like a normal people. And here's the problem: a lot of people aren't like normal. Okay, there's a lot of issues, and I'll bring it up later on Joe Merrick's post. So, anyways, let's move on to the remote raid passes, which are remote raid passes will be included in the pool of potential rewards for research breakthrough. For those who are not aware, research breakthrough are literally the daily, the daily research thing that you'll, do in Pokemon Go. And if you complete all of them for 7 different days, doesn't have to be consecutive, but it's up to you if you want to be consecutive. You'll reward free Pokemon and a lot of items, including the remote raid pass, and as well as XP and Stardust candies. So, remote raid pass earned via research breakthroughs will still be subject to the existing inventory limit of 3 remote raid passes per trainer. If a trainer earns a remote raid pass from a research breakthrough while at the 3 remote raid pass limit, they will receive a premium battle pass instead. Now, what this means is that if you don't, if your remote raid passes are 3, yeah, you cannot add more. The only way to get 5 remote raid passes is if you have 2 remote raid pass and then buy the 3 pack, buy the 3 pack on the store. So that's how you get, the 5 remote raid passes. It's not people buying, raid passes consecutively just to fill up like 6 times or whatnot. Oh, it's not that. Excuse me. And as mentioned right here in this small note, purchases of Remote Raid Pass 3 packs will still allow you to hold up to 5 Remote Raid Passes if you purchase it with 2 Remote Raid Passes already in your inventory. See? That's what I meant. Now, the XL candies. I think a lot of people wanted to do that to max up their Pokemon and their CPs. Child Protect. I'm joking. And their CPs. So I'm just gonna skip this one. Basically, you'll get more rewards if you'll get more XL candies if you do it in person after beating the raids. So since their introduction in 2020, remote raid passes have come to dominate the experience of playing Pokemon Go in a way we never intended. Rewarding trainers with additional Candy XL and adding other new features are two of the ways we hope to further incentivize playing Pokemon Go in person with your friends, family, and community. We plan to keep remote raid passes as part of Pokemon Go. However, we believe this change is necessary for the long-term health of the game, and we do not make it lightly. We feel this is a necessary step towards our goal of preserving and improving the unique experience of playing Pokemon Go, a game we hope you continue to enjoy into the future. Now, I want to bring up this statement earlier. These changes are designed to rebalance the game and ensure it's enjoyed by trainers for years to come. How are you rebalancing the game and at the same time not enjoy making trainers enjoy by by getting rid of getting rid or limiting remote raid passes? How are you gonna make them satisfy? You're doing the opposite with this kind of stuff. It is very contradictory for Niantic because they say that they believe that these changes, all the limitation, all the restriction, all the price increase is for the health of the game. You're not making the game more healthier if you're gonna restrict those limitations. And I know that Pokemon Go is notoriously gathering data on your data. Now, not personal data because that's 100% illegal, by the way, but autonomous data like GPS track data or something. So that's how that's how they monetize or actually sell those data to advertisers for them to make money off of it. So that's literally how they do. Now I wanna discuss this post by Pokemon Go Hub right there about the update because they got a representative the DMing or messaging Pokemon Go Hub regarding this update. So as stated, Niantic shared an update with the community leaders regarding XL candy changes and individual player data. So first, amount of the in-person T5 Tier 5 Candy XL drops will increase significantly with the goal being to make in-person raids more lucrative for XL Candy, which quote unquote to ensure continued and even wider participation in Master League. And the intent is to increase Master League participation by making L50 level 50 Pokemon more accessible and require far fewer raid passes than before to level them up. And for global, the number of remote raids required to level up a single level 50 Pokemon will be significantly greater than in-person raids, at least with respect to Candy XL, a direct result of larger in-person XL Candy drops. And just for a note, Niantic does not sell or share individualized player data with third-party sponsorship partners, and they don't even plan to do so. Shared with GoHub by a Niantic community manager. And yeah, you can clearly tell that the comments are not liking it. And they give suggestions right here. Or, to put it another way with this info, Niantic does sell and share non-individualized player data with third-party sponsorship partners. They don't listen to the community and they don't ever plan to do so. Also probably give away, not sell, but for free, individualized player data to letter agencies for gift, which isn't selling. And then there's another comment saying, I like how Niantic wants to pollute the air with cars going from raid to raid. I don't think anyone in Europe's in city or town actually use cars for raiding. There's no place to park and most cities don't even allow traffic in centers. In Southern California, which by the way, this is where Niantic headquarters are, you kind of have to as all the gyms are spread out pretty far. And then there's the community ambassadors FAQ right here. For a T5 reward for beating that Ho-Oh were garbage. Did 5-star raids during our in-person raid hours. 3 of them gave them reward. Why should I do in-person raids if that's what I'm going to get? And yeah, since I'm blocked at Pokemon Go, that's the reason why I'm using Incognito, by the way. To look at this yummy delicious post that Niantic, posted regarding the remote raid pass update. And like I said, them saying that these changes are designed to rebalance the game and ensure it's enjoyed by trainers for years to come, that's all a big fluke. That's all a lie. Because they're not doing it for the fans. They're doing it for the money. They're doing it for our data. And I know a lot of people skepticize about it, but literally every single company around the world uses your personal data, individualized, player data or personal data for monetization. That's literally how the internet works. And this is a loophole that's been there since the beginning of the internet. And then Joe Merrick from Cerebi mentioned this. Have to admit, I find your dedication to the let's go outside notion admirable in the face of damaging your revenue stream and annoying your user base. That dedication to forcing us to go outside may even exceed my dedication to cowboy hat Caterpie, please. You had almost 4 years to mute or block me and haven't seemed like anymore. Now this guy, this is just a this is just a a gimmick account. He just wanted his cowboy caterpillar. Almost 2 years later, and you heard nothing. And then this was in 2021. We came for Pokemon Go. We stayed for the players. In the end, we'll leave because of Niantic Labs. Pokemon Go, listen to us. Now, this comment right there, this was a response of Niantic's, previous antics that enraged their own community, which is the removal or the decrease of spins in the Pokestop, like the distance, the Pokestop distance, if that's what I remember. And a lot of people hated that kind of update. So they hated so much that Niantic have to. They hated so much that Niantic have to revert back the changes. Like people will still be able to, spin Pokestops from far away from the Pokestop and spin, gyms or going to gyms far away from the actual location of the gyms. So there were some good benefits about that update back in 2021 because there were a lot of Pokestops and a lot of gyms that are, you know, inside off limit territory. Something that something that Niantic cannot control because for some reason there's some players or some people and the companies are playing Pokemon Go, or to say the least, maybe a spoofer, plays those out of spite. Niantic developers have clearly lived in rural America, disappointed but par of the course. Company has very rarely shown interest in listening to players' needs of concerns. Great to meet up with a community of players, but not possible for everyone. Niantic has no concept of what it's like to play the game in a suburban or rural environment, or to be mobility challenged, or the myriad of health-related conditions that can keep one inside. And yeah, a lot of people in Pokemon Go app were enraged about it, and I have a bad feeling that they got blocked by Pokemon Go the same way as I got blocked by Pokemon Go. And then that leads to my post right here. And I said this. I have to address this kind of, this kind of shabacle that Niantic created will create a separation of the community. Neglecting your advertisement, go unite and go play together since its first trailer. I know you have blocked me, Niantic loves Pokemon Go, but it's very cowardly to ignore. Hear us. And if you want to read the quote by Joe Merrick, here it is. I'll read it for you. God, Dear Niantic, we are writing to you on behalf of your customers, the Pokemon Go community. We want to start off by letting you know that we love Pokemon Go, not just Go but Pokemon franchise in general. We are and always will be passionate, loyal, and vocal about our thoughts and concerns. We want Pokemon Go to succeed and we want to be able to play this game, the game we love, for years to come. Unfortunately, we as a whole feel unheard. Time and time again, our questions go unanswered. Our concerns are not addressed, and most importantly, our needs are not taken into proper consideration. As of now, we are specifically referred to the April 6 remote raid pass update. We do not agree with your decision, and the majority of us want you to know that limiting remote raids to 5 passes per day will harm not only the normal casual players but also harming the rural trainers who lack adequate local community support, trainers with disabilities or who physically cannot get outside to play, trainers who have severe social anxiety who struggle mentality to get outside to participate in in-person raids, and trainers who work night shifts and cannot participate during the day, and lastly, single parent trainers who are managing children, a household, and a career with minimal time to spare. And most importantly of all, the remote raid changes will limit our global interaction with our trainers who we have developed tight bonds with over the last 3 years. Every form of trainer has equal and every right to play and enjoy Pokemon Go. At the end of the day, the world has evolved since the pandemic. The landscape of working, playing, and interacting has evolved and changed. Trainers now work at home. Through the new or work and life dynamic, rich remote communities were built. These communities are just as viable as strong as in-person communities. These communities are unique, special, and one of a kind, and we know from the bottom of our hearts that that there is equal room to have both types of communities flourish simultaneously. To which, oh shit, I forgot. This got blurred out. To which, in this second, picture, if Niantic's goal is to get trainers outside, reward players significantly for doing in-person raid rewards, such as guaranteed XL rare candies, increased lucky friend odds during first-time in-person raid interaction, and offer premium items such as incubators, star pieces, etc. from in-person raids. These are incentivize the in-person raids, but do not take away the squander what we've built globally for over the last 3+ years. Now, what this means, by the way, about this incentivization or incentivize is that yeah, they have actually mentioned that uh, there will be a lot of XL rare candies for it. But however, it's better off to get XL candies like guaranteed ones on in-person trades than remote in-person raids than remote raids. Like there's the issue of about the raiding in Pokemon Go is that you don't get a lot of good shit with the item drops. Like if you want people to encourage face-to-face or in-person raids, all you have to do is just give them a lot of rewards. Have the host get a lot of rewards than everyone else. Yeah, that sounds unfair, isn't it? Yeah, but it's still fine because hey, that's what it is. If you want, like, literally, if you want people to encourage, doing face-to-face events or face-to-face raids, just give them better rewards than the same usual rewards that both the remote raiders and the in-person raiders have. Without remote raids, the opportunity to attend live events, to meet with other global Pokemon Go friends will not be as enticing, exciting, or robust. We as a global community did not want to remove raid issue to come to this point, but as already mentioned, we are not heard. We are sad, distraught, and discouraged because our interactions with our global friends will no longer be free to accommodate for every typical global Pokemon Go trainer. Please, for the second time, hear us, Niantic. Talk to your community, talk to us, let's have a discussion. The answer is beyond creating scarce limitation for remote raids, but creating a rich, incentivized environment to encourage local communities, congregation. Sincerely, the Pokemon Go Company. And of course, with all good posts, there comes the evil or anti-posts. Such as this guy right here. Players ruin Pokemon Go because they want the game to remove its real-world outdoor aspect and make into an online game you can play at home. That's literally a very small percentage that does not play outside. And then there's Arrows, which of course turns out to be a single troll on the internet. Just wanted to make people angry. So then they can move their assets and go outside and stop winning because I don't know anyone playing in person that relies on remote raids. People that want to play with friends around the world and those like me who have a full-time job. We can't just magically teleport. There's also disabled players, player with no raids, groups, local communities. And I want to bring up this post because this is so bullshitty. Traveling around the world and finding the local communities easy with either campfire and especially Silk Road. Disabled communities can use their wheelchairs to reach their raids and they can't play football either. How did they play before 2020? Not everyone can travel around the world and there are a lot of places with no major communities within 5 miles of walking distance. And how do remote raids fix communities? And then this is where I come in because I am fed up with this guy making, dumbass comments like that. That's fucking bullshit right there. Do you expect a person in crutches and wheelchair could walk going to the next raid on a blazing summer day? Do me a favor and break your leg and try to reach the next gym or Pokestop. You don't know shit how disabled people felt. And as a person who had leg surgery after the accident for nearly 5 months, it's tiring to walk from point A to point B or roll on point A to point B, especially since it was intensely hot. Don't say that the game's not for the disabled, you sound like an ableist, which many are. And yeah. And he just posted this bullshitty comment right there. Are you complaining to your local football field? Here's the thing, there's no such thing as football field. What the fuck you're talking about, dumbass? Fucking Espanola bullshit. Anyways, I'm so sorry, alright? But I'm so tired of people just making dumb assumptions without realizing the mistakes. Are you complaining to your local football field and the team you are not able to play? Not everywhere has a local football field or team, and not everyone plays Pokemon Go. Exactly. Exactly to what? You just agree with something that disapprove of what you're saying. I'm confused. No, it doesn't agree with what you were saying before. Not everyone must or can play everything. Yeah, that's correct. But however, people want that, and you're wanting them to stop? That's kind of bullshitty. If Niantic created this game with the purpose of collecting and sell location data, don't you think these protests are kind of pointless? They could easily turn off the game if they don't get the data. Says sad to say, but the truth is rural and disabled don't contribute their goal. It's not really an either scenario. They can still push their goal of getting people to go out without removing features. I feel like the only way to do that would be to make the reward for remote raids to be so insignificant, but there would still be an outcry because again, it would force people to actually go outside and play. Since it, whichever way that, but that's the real reason behind the outage. But I don't think people would be too upset if you remove all item rewards for remote raids and just let them get XPs and candies. That plus better in-person raids, raid rewards would make it more beneficial to go out without stopping people from doing remote raids as much as they want. As someone who can only raid as someone who can only get raids done in an area a half-hour drive from where I live, removing items from remote raids seems me is me removing the game from my phone. You can easily get it free items through gifts. And then yeah, there's a lot of outcries. There's a lot of hearsay. And this is getting, too tired because Niantic is infamously not listening to their community as a whole. It's so tiring that this community are trying to, stop Niantic with their dumb antics. When of course it's obvious that Niantic just wanted to kill the game or make the game not fun for everyone anymore. A lot of people, and there are some people who use the Here as Niantic, hashtag for the wrong uses, such as Here as Niantic, let's just get rid of remote raid pass, that kind of stuff. Because yeah, it's so stupid. All right, this is a stupid change from Niantic's side. Like, I live in this place in the middle of nothing. The first stop or gym takes 25 minutes to reach. How do you think that destroying the remote raid system will be a good idea for players like me and many others in the situation? Please consider retrace your steps. What they want you to do is make more stops yourself and grow your own community. Yeah, in the middle of the wild. That's the problem. And there's also another problem. Uploading or making your own Pokestop. I've done that before and they were declined by Niantic. Yeah, they were declined because there's another Pokestop nearby. Are you kidding me? There's a there's a thing, like literally a thing in front of my house. And Pokemon Go or Niantic are known to put random things or labels or symbols as Pokestops. There's literally a wall graffiti in front of it. And then Niantic declined it because that's not a real place. Wow. Wow. Yeah, all they do is, deleting the app. What more can we get for Pokemon Go? This is why I actually, stopped participating, community days and raid hours. It's because the game became not fun anymore. And then this comment. I can relate to this. Fortunately, some people in far communities submitted Portal or Pokestops nomination as Ingress players. They did not submit in my area, but when nomination became available in Pokemon Go, I made it a point to follow their footsteps. Now I got many stops or gyms. And like I said, these nomination, a lot of them just declined my nomination after telling my local group on Facebook Messenger to please vote or selected my stuff, my Poke stuff, my Poke stop. Sorry, but however, yeah, doesn't seem like it in the end. So at the end of the day, for the future of Pokemon Go, I personally, of course, it will start like nothing. Nothing happens when it's gonna happen. But however, the effects, you'll get the effects when in about a month or that long, in a couple of days or weeks or months, you'll see the effects that a lot of people or a lot of players not playing Pokemon Go anymore. You see what I mean? These kind of stuff will hurt the community and the game itself because of Niantic's weird antics. So how do we able to stop this? Well, here's one easy way for you to to protest Pokemon Go and Niantic's dumbass decisions. So first thing to do is actually delete Pokemon Go. I know it sounds all right. It makes sense, and I know a lot of people don't want to delete their apps. But if you don't want, you can just disable Adventure Sync. That's pretty much you can do. Now, what Adventure Sync does is that it will collect data for Niantic to sell those data to third party advertisers or companies. That's how they monetize their money. That's how they monetize the game, despite it being a free game. Data is very precious for a lot of companies, and with those data, and sell those data to the to the third party companies, it'll give them more money out of it. So that's the thing. That's how free games work. If it's free and then there's online play, then the good side is that you know they get revenue out of it. So yeah, like I said, it is so stupid for Niantic to decide this kind of stuff. Now, number two, if you don't want to delete Pokemon Go and and disable Adventure Sync, you could you could actually join in a petition. I think I passed by a petition right there, right here, and change.org. The change.org petition. You can sign off a petition to to save remote raiding in Pokemon Go. And about 75,852 right now people have signed this petition, and we need 150 more of it, because these changes will not only harm the community but will also harm the game itself. And let's hope that Niantic have a piece of mind, have actually realized that this is a mistake. But if they not, and they want to push this change even after April, then yeah, I guess Pokemon Go will slowly decline with its player base. Now, as of now, if I recall, if looking at the user base or the player base or the live player count and statistics, which are kind of pretty much recent, but not actually recent. So let's take a look at those stats. Oh boy. You can see a very huge decline around February 28, 2023, or by the start of February, or for the month of February. So around October 30th, 2021, or October, they got 8,450,000 people playing the game. Now, it got a huge increase back on January 30th, 2023, or the end of or for the month of January, with 9.1 million players, playing the game daily. Now, they got dropped on February from 9.1 to 5.2 million, and then from on March, the end of March, for the whole month of March, 5.3, and then 5.2.94 as of now for August. I mean April. A little slightly bigger than in February, but still, you can clearly see the numbers that they're pretty much declining a bit. This is a big no-no right there for Pokemon Go. Jesus. For the last 30 days, have have lost 399. That's literally 400,000 players. They lost that amount from the end of March to now. That's getting worse. That's getting more worse. But yeah, as I said, the max player data, I mean, daily has been decreased pretty significantly. It was better before, but however, it got worse by the time. So anyways, that's pretty much it for Pokemon Go. I don't think they'll be able to recover if they don't change, their stuff. So that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.